Barcelona fans, how you guys doing? Welcome to episode 4. It's been a minute since we did a talking points of Barcelona here with my good friend Andrew Yacoub from Canada. So hey guys, look, we got some talking points, a lot of things to talk about and discuss. So let's go ahead right into it. The first thing, Andrew, let's talk right now. Let's get it off the bat. Who you think should be sold in this transfer window coming up? Let's put it in 3 things. Who should absolutely be sold for sure, and maybe if the money is right, and who you think we should keep?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me back. That's one. Um, but yeah, as always, as we start, for me, Longley, if the money comes in, Longley can leave. I mean, if not, it's fine if he stays, but he's been shaky this season. So if the money comes in for Longley, he can leave. Same with Dembele for me. For me, he's been a very sporadic player, and you said this before. He's been very sporadic this season, but if the money comes in and it's a right offer of 60 or above, 60 million or above, let him go. But for sure, Umtiti has to go. Braithwaite has to go. The fact that he's still wearing the number 9 at Barcelona is still making me cringe. Pjanic has to go. He's not even played a game since last year, maybe 2020
so, yeah.
was his. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So he's been atrocious, and then Junior Firpo hasn't even made an appearance since PSG in the second leg, which he shut down Mbappe. Did pretty well, but he doesn't fit Barcelona's system. He's not the type of player that can take out Jordi Alba and replace him and give him competition. So those for me gotta go. Then you have the issue of Sergio Roberto's poor performances, because this season has been plagued with injuries, and on top of that, it just kills his confidence. So when you have a player like Sergio Roberto who doesn't even believe in himself, then you're not going to have that good of a player.
Yeah.
And you need to give him the confidence to grow. So for me, if a good enough offer comes in for Sergio Roberto, maybe sell him. But if not, you keep him and you let his confidence grow. Griezmann, same thing. If a really, really good offer comes in, let him go. But if not, he's a great player for that type of player that can track back, support defense, and go forward and without getting tired that much. And then you get the issue of Coutinho, because Coutinho is that kind of wild card where he can take shots from outside the box. But this season, when he actually has played, I don't remember if anybody knows when the last time Coutinho played, but this season when he actually has played, he's tried to do it a couple times, but he's not the same. That first season he came in, when we played against Girona in his first debut game for Barcelona, he was insane. He had that one goal where he cuts outside on the edge of the box and he shoots it and curls around the goalkeeper. It was such a beautiful goal. But no, this season he's tried a couple of them. He tried against Cadiz. He tried against I don't remember who he played the week before Cadiz. He tried it against Villarreal a couple times. Didn't work out. He was still good that game. I give him credit for that one. But he's not that kind of player that anymore where you can hand him the ball, he can take on 2 guys and then take a long shot and score. And that's another thing with his confidence is that he needs to improve. So for me, Coutinho, you keep him if nothing comes in for him. But if something comes in for him, I say you sell him.
So I think we got about the same list. I feel the same way with you about Coutinho. I say I like Coutinho. I love Coutinho. Hell, one of my shirts back here is Coutinho.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. And but you're right. He's been another sporadic player, not that good. And our youngsters need to learn how to kick the ball like Coutinho. And if they could keep doing what they're doing right now, if Pedri could play the way he's playing and kick the ball like Coutinho, why do we need a Coutinho? And I think it's easier to train Pedri to do that than it is easier to grab a Coutinho and hopefully to God he gets his his emotions back and ready to play and his all that good stuff. So I agree. I think Coutinho, the money's got to be there. If somebody comes for him, sell him. Umtiti's got to go. Pjanic's got to go. Braithwaite's got to go. Firpo's got to go. If the money's good, Langley's got to go. Dembele's got to go. I like Sergio Roberto. I think we should keep Sergio Roberto. Not necessarily start him, but keep him in the bench. Let him get his courage back and his play back, because I think that's what it is. I think you mentioned it to me earlier in talking that he looked scared when he was playing, and he needs to let go of that. He needs to believe in himself again, because he is a really good player. And with Griezmann, I'm a Griezmann fan, man. So I want Griezmann to stay. But I'm not going to sit here and say that, hey, Barcelona has financial issues. I don't care. Keep Griezmann. If you have financial issues and a really good thing comes for Griezmann, I get it. I get it. We still have Fati, and Fati is gonna come back, and hopefully we take our time with him. So yeah, that's who we think we should be. So fans out there, if you think we should sell another player, let us know. Let us know in the bottom of the comments. Okay, let's move on to the defense, Andrew. In defense, we know Eric Garcia is about to come in. We know that it's almost been told already that Eric Garcia has already signed the thing. So I think that's a really, really good thing. I don't think we should bring in anybody else. In my opinion, when it comes to center back position, I think we should trust. I think they've earned the trust to give them the opportunity to gain more experience, and that goes for Araujo and as well as Mingueza. I think both of them, Mingueza and Araujo, need to be the ability to be able to play more games. I think they've proven a lot this season for us. Like I said, for Langley, if he stays, he stays. Both of us say that. That'll be great. If not, if money comes in for him, you could let him go. With Piqué, you know he's not going anywhere. My only issue is going to be, will he start next year or will the coach put him in bench? My opinion, he should start as bench and be that role model and the leader that's teaching Araujo and these guys how exactly they need to play. That's just what I think in the center back position. What do you think about the center back positions?
The only thing I'd say is, Umtiti definitely has to leave, and then if Garcia comes in, we've had some trouble with center backs before because we saw De Jong play center back earlier this season for a little bit. So I think personally that we need an extra center back, one more, to come in and just be that like backup, and that's where you don't buy anybody, you just promote whoever was in the B team again, because we saw with Mingueza and Araujo that was a great decision to promote both of them because they've been world class. Araujo, for me, has been our best center back this season, and right behind him is Oscar Mingueza. So if we promote another center back from La Masia, worst case scenario, doesn't perform, is not going to be but worse than Umtiti. Come on, man. Like Umtiti's been dreadful this season. So, but yeah, other than that, for me, Garcia is going to be pretty good because we all saw what happened with PK at Manchester United and how he left Barca to go there and then came back and he was phenomenal. So
I just don't think we need to go for an expensive center back at any point.
No.
I think we're good. I think we need to trust in the youngsters we have, and bringing in Garcia is going to help out. With Piqué helping them out as well to develop themselves the same way Puyol helped him. That'll be great. And so I agree 100% with you on that one. And promote center backs if we can promote. Absolutely agree. Now, same thing. We're going to talk about the left back position and as well the right back position. In the right back position, we have a great youngster in Serginho Dest, which I think he's doing great. You told me and mentioned to me about Emerson and the idea that we could keep him for until January. Hopefully he plays really well. We could either keep him then or we could sell him for a lot better money and just keep promoting from within to be that backup for Serginho Dest, because I do like Serginho Dest. He's got a lot, still a lot to learn, but the speed and his ability to do what he does is a unique thing. It's a lot of I don't want to compare him to what I know to be the best right back ever in Danny Alves, but he has an opportunity to be a really good right back. And as for Jordi Alba, we just need to promote. I don't think we need to go spend more money. We're not in a position to spend money. Let's just promote.
Yeah, agreed. Because you've got the likes of Alejandro Balde in the B team. You've got Miranda, who's on loan at Betis. And then on top of that, Emerson comes in. He can play on both sides anyway. So, if you bring in Emerson, that covers Serginho Dest if he gets injured. God forbid anything happens. But, that covers Serginho Dest's position. And then Juan Miranda has been absolutely phenomenal for Betis. I mean, under Valverde, it wasn't amazing. And, Valverde is known for slow football. And Miranda was dropped because, he was playing too slow for Valverde. And, it goes to think, like, Valverde doesn't play fast football. So if he was too slow for Valverde, but he's done well to improve. He's done well to, improve his mental game.
Absolutely. Miranda was doing some runs when he was at Schalke that I was just impressed at how fast he actually is.
And then you've got Alejandro Balde in the B team, who's, for me, I didn't know anything about him until January when I started watching, highlights and games and stuff. And I love Barca, to be honest. So when I watched the B team, they play so well. And then you've got Alex Collado, you've got Alejandro Balde, whatever. So, I've been watching him in the B team, and he's been really, really good, when he has played, when he's had those chances. And he knows when to go up and to come back and how to, play that 1-2 and get in behind. And, you just need someone who's going to challenge Jordi Alba for that position because when you don't, he's going to start getting complacent. And we all know what happens when Jordi Alba gets complacent.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about, man. That was horrendous.
Um,
Absolutely. But no, I think we're in the same. I think our defense is good. It's young. Yes, it's young, but promotion from within and giving the trust to a great player in Araujo and a great player in Mingueza. And, Piquet will still be there to help out. Eric Garcia coming in. Jordi Alba will still be there. He needs somebody behind him because, injuries do happen. And of course, you don't want him complacent. I mean, we got to remember, Jordi Alba is what, 32 now? I think that's what he is. And Des is doing a phenomenal job. He also needs some help in the back. And promotion is it's to us, I think for both of us, sounds like the best route for our defense right now. Not to spend more money into something that we don't have. All right. Even if we sell all these people, I think our defense, we keep talking about the defense needs to get better. The defense to me needs to get more experience. Uh, not necessarily bring in a better defender, get more experience to get better because we do have some really young defenders. And now if it was like, a bunch of 30-year-olds and 28-year-olds, 29-year-olds, I'll be like, yeah, you need to buy somebody good because this isn't working out for us. But this is youngsters who are showing
they've
that they
got
could handle.
years. They've
They
got
could handle.
tens of years ahead of
Yeah. And then, so let's talk about a big topic that's going on, and it's been going on for a while. I talked about it in my last episode, my new segment, and that's the search for the number 9. And we had a talk about this, and the idea. I'm gonna speak on Lautaro and Haaland, just kind of explain what I feel. If we're in a financial situation that we're struggling, why are we going to go out and buy these massively expensive players when we don't have the money for it? Now we could sell all these players, and you could sell Grizu, you could sell Dembele, you could figure it out, and you could bring in somebody else. But the money has to be perfect. It has to be good. You can't just give them Grizu and Dembele for a Haaland. You're giving too much out for one player. I know Haaland is great. I get it. But to me, you're giving way too much for one player. Haaland is 150 million release clause right now. I think his contract is over in 2024, and his release clause I think is not till 2023. So that's just way too much. As great as he is, and as much as I like him, I think it's just too much. Then you got Lautaro Martinez, whose release clause is next year, and it's only 70 million. If you buy him now, it's 111 million. Now we might be able to do something with Dembele and him if they're willing to just flop. I think that's okay, but I'm not sure. I personally, and let me know. To me, Aguero is a go. I think we should get him as a backup, as a bench player, and Koeman wants the pay. Let him have the pay.
Yeah, I agree. I
He's
mean,
cheap.
for me, it's Holland's agent Royal is insane anyway. So you've got someone like him who's demanding 30 million extra on top of whatever we're paying, and we don't got money to pay for Holland to pay for you. So um, he's for me he's out of the picture until maybe his release clause dumbers down, or maybe like he goes his contract ends or something. But and then Lautaro Martinez, phenomenal for Inter because they won their first Scudetto in 9-10 years. But again, does that kind of make you wonder? Do we have the money to spend on Lautaro Martinez, and is he worth the 130 million that we're paying for him? Because he's still 23, and he has those games where he's really good. But he also has those games where he just looks lost in the game, and it's maybe because of inexperience, because he needs to learn more. So I would say maybe hold off on him a little bit more as well, because then you've got someone who's as experienced and as well rounded as Aguero, who can come in for free. He's coming in on a reduced salary, so you're not going to have a wage bill issue. And
Yeah.
on top of that, you have Memphis Depay coming in for free, and he's 6 years younger than Aguero, and he's almost as good. For me, Depay is a great signing if it's under Ronald Koeman, because for the Netherlands national team, Depay was insane when Koeman was there, because every game he'd get the ball, he'd shove somebody off the ball, take a shot outside the box, make that great pass, have that link up with De Jong or whatever happened. And um, whatever happened in the end, he was always a good player for the Netherlands. He always had a great performance, an individual performance, even if they lost or whatever, which was rare to see under Ronald Koeman. The Netherlands team barely lost under
Yeah.
Ronald Koeman. So, for me, under Ronald Koeman, Memphis Depay could be a great signing. But the thing is, we don't want to tie him down for as long as we want to. We should tie him down as long as we need to.
Yeah.
So if we're getting him on a free, maybe if Coleman's leaving in 2 years, maybe give him a 2-year contract and see if he wants to stay at the end of that. If he wants to stay, good. Welcome.
Yeah.
You can stay. But if you want to leave because Coleman leaves and you're not going to like the next manager wants to sell you, give him a contract as long as Coleman's going to stay at the club, and then when he leaves, you can decide if you want to leave or not, and let us know so that we can sell you for a profit. If not, then good riddance. But besides the point, we need that number 9 because when you're watching the games, especially yesterday against Levante, you have 2 wingers, which is perfectly fine. You've got 2 wingers, but then everybody in the middle just stays outside the box. Nobody goes into the box.
Lost. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you don't have that presence into the box, and then on top of that, those players that are outside the box, the only person that takes shots is Messi. We talked about how Pedri needs to learn how to shoot outside the box. Busquets has never been that type of person to shoot the ball. And then you've got Frankie de Jong, who's starting maybe to understand what his position is in the team, but he's still not there yet. Um, and the issue there is you need a number 9 who can get into the box. This is why I love Aguero, because he'll get into the box and he'll take 2-3 people with him. And that way you can relieve the pressure off of Griezmann on the left. You can relieve pressure off of Dembele on the right, and you'll relieve pressure off Messi in the middle. And that way Messi can score against the top 6 teams that they said that he can't score against this season. Because against top 6 teams this season, he's only scored, I think, 3 or 4 goals.
And that's the thing is that's what I kept arguing last year when people kept saying, get rid of Suarez, get rid of Suarez. And I'm like, you guys don't understand what Suarez is doing for Messi.
Yeah.
Like just in his runs into the box, what he does. Yeah. And that's why the number 9 is so important. And I think Aguero, the pay will be good for the financial reason. I'm not a fan of the pay. I'll be Memphis. I'm not a fan of Memphis. I'm not a big, huge fan of his. But when I look at the financial situations that they're talking about, the rumors of the financial situations, I'm okay with bringing a Depay and an Aguero, because I know at least, the two of them will figure out a way to. Aguero already knows how to play with Messi, so that's a good thing. But Aguero is not going to be able to play all the games in one shot, and Depay could learn a lot. Depay is going to start anyways, and Aguero will be on the bench. So yes, I think those two together will be a good combination to bring in for number 9 position to play with Messi on the wing side. And Griezmann, or hopefully Fati comes back. And Fati, take your time with Fati. Barcelona, please don't rush him back into the field. Just take your time with him. I think Fati's good. And like we said, if a good price comes for Dembele, sell him. If a good price comes to Griezmann, sell him. But the price has got to be really good. As much as I think we both love Haaland and Lautaro. If the financial rumors are true, we cannot bring them. It makes no sense to bring them. We are going to destroy the team even more by bringing them, if that's the reality of their.
And who says they're going to perform? Who says they're going to perform 100%? Because we saw Coutinho at Liverpool. Oh, great player. Let's splash the cash. Splash the cash, flopped at Barcelona. We saw it with
Dembele.
With Dembele.
Same thing.
Splash the cash. Oh, he's such a great player at Dortmund. Splash the cash came in. Maybe this season's been a little bit better, but he's still not worth 140 million.
I mean, he's only scored like 3 more goals than Fati, and Fati missed the whole season pretty much.
Fati's missed the season since November, and he was the second top scorer until February, right? Where's Griezmann and Dembele been the whole time? Yeah, so absolutely. that just goes to show, like sometimes money is not the best way to go about things, but it's a Bartomeu masterclass. What can we do?
Absolutely, man. And now let's go to our last topic. I think our last topic is one of the topics that's been going on right now, big time, and that's to talk about Ricky and Ronald Koeman and Koeman in general. So let's first start with Ricky, man. And let's start with the midfield in general, because I'm gonna tell you right now, the talks that Koeman had about bringing in Wijnaldum, I think that's garbage. I think Koeman, you got to keep Wijnaldum away from this team, because I saw him play with Liverpool. He ain't all that. I mean, he really is not all that. We have players in the team right now that are way better than Wijnaldum right now. So with Ricky, man, anybody who's been and listening to me, they know very well how much of a big fan I am of Ricky, and how I would love to see Ricky come in instead of Moriba. I mean, everyone who knows me knows that I would rather see Ricky come in instead of Moriba, but I do also understand that there are tactical games and that Moriba and Ricky are completely different players. And Moriba has a lot to learn. Ricky still has a lot to learn. But there are two great midfielders to me that need more chances to play, need more opportunity to play. And Koeman, I don't know why he doesn't play Ricky. There's things that we don't know about that's within the walls of Barcelona. But one thing I know for sure is that when Ricky does get that opportunity, to play more than 5 minutes, um, he's gonna do some good things and he's gonna shine. Because if we all have seen Ricky come through Barca B and the things that he's done, it would happen. It will happen, but it's going to happen at the right moment. Just like it happened for Xavi Hernandez. I personally think we stick with what we have in the midfield. Keep Ricky. Hopefully next year, Koeman gives him better chances. Um, and with Pedri, Ricky, and De Jong together at one point, I need to see that. I need to see how they could function together. Uh, you know, I told this before. I said I'm a short guy. I'm a 5'7" guy. I love my short people in professional football. Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, all those guys. I'm all about it. I know Ricky's tougher than he looks, and I've seen it, and you all have seen it. I know he could take a hit, and I know he could give a hit. Um, so, what do you think of the whole Ricky situation right now? Because a lot of people are asking for Koeman's head because he's not playing Ricky.
I love Ricky Puig, man. Ricky Puig is my favorite player right now out of La Masia. But my problem with Ricky is I don't have a problem with Ricky individually. His mentality is amazing because he comes back the next day to training and he's not distraught about not having played the game. He's not distraught about only having 5 minutes of a chance. He's not distraught about it. He just comes back and he has a smile on his face and he keeps a smile on his face. But for me, when you've got a team like PSG, when they have two big midfielders in Marco Verratti, who's just, he's just thick. He's not tall. He's just thick. When you look at him and you see him running towards you, you're like, okay, just chill out, big guy. Give me a minute, And then you've got Idrissa Gana Gueye, who's even worse. Idrissa Gana Gueye and Danilo are the two midfielders that were running the show against us in that first leg against Paris. And everybody can say, oh, Mbappe was fast, Mbappe was this. Yeah, but without Idrissa Gana Gueye and Danilo in the midfield, there's no physical battle that Paris would have won to get a counterattack. Yeah. And that's the thing. When Ricky came in, which was, it was too little too late because he still brought him in only for 5 to 7 minutes of the game. But you saw it with them. Whenever he got the ball, Danilo was on him, shoving him off the ball. Verratti was on him. He's already anticipating where he's going to go. And that comes with experience. And how do you get experience? You got to play more. But the problem with that is you can't play him in games where you're setting him up to fail. You got to play him in games in which you have little to no chance of failure, or it's just little pressure. And the thing is with that is
Ray Hudson said that. Ray Hudson said, like, these are perfect games to bring in Ricky. Why is he not bringing him in?
And that's my point, is that as much as I love Koeman and what he's done at Barcelona, the one thing that's pissed me off, and I don't like to admit it, is that Ricky Puig is not playing as much as I'd like to. And we saw it at the end of last season, how well he did under Setien. And, maybe that was one of the only things that Setien did that was right. But my problem with it is that, when you have a player like Ricky, it's always it's always hard because even Xavi in 2004 when Rijkaard came in, there was always questions because he came in, and the team was already getting revamped anyway. Messi came in from the academy, Iniesta came from the academy, Xavi comes in from the academy, Frank Rijkaard comes in at the club, and he doesn't give Xavi the chances that he wants, and everybody was like, "Oh, is he going to have a future at the club? Whatever." But he was a playmaker naturally, and he lost his position over players like Ronaldinho and Deco, and that's where I praise Laporta for, because when Messi came in and Xavi came in and Iniesta came in, he knows these players are world class. He said, "Okay, we're going to sell Ronaldinho, we're going to sell Deco, and those were the two best players of the team. We're going to sell Ronaldinho, we're going to sell Deco, we're going to let the youngsters develop and."
He listened to his coach. He listened to Pep. He listened to Pep.
He's listened to Pep. Yeah. And this is during Rijkaard's time. So Pep's telling him at the B team, hey, listen, this is not right. If I'm going to take over in a couple of years, you got to do this. He said, okay, we're going to get rid of this player. We're going to get rid of this player. And then Rijkaard was forced to play Xavi. And ever since then, he's been amazing. And that's what I think is going to happen to Koeman as well, because there's no way Sergio Roberto's getting another chance. Even if he wasn't injured, there's no way he's getting another chance after like 2 performances that I did not enjoy at all. Against Granada, absolutely. he was not as much as he was very pragmatic, almost like a Pjanic. He reminded me of Pjanic when he played against Granada. Then against Levante yesterday, he was very, very, very nervous. And every time he got the ball, he took his time and hesitated before giving the pass when, a 2016 Sergio Roberto would have just given it right away. Yeah. And on top of that, it's just like, if Sergio Roberto is not going to play because he's already injured anyway, Ronald Araujo is not going to play, so that could force De Jong to go back into center back position because I don't think Umtiti is going to get another chance. And then on top of that, if you're not going to have, Coutinho's injured, Alena's on loan, Rialdo's not going to get promoted, and then you've got Busquets, De Jong, and Pedri, right? And Busquets still has the mask on, and maybe he's not performing one game and he gets subbed out. Ricky's going to get more chances to play. He's going to get more time to play. And we just got to be patient with that. And that's a part of learning the Barcelona job as a coach. Ronald
Yeah.
Koeman has never managed a big team other than the Netherlands national team, but you don't really manage transfers and problems with that team, with the national team. You
Yeah.
learn that in clubs. And this man came in and he's only ever managed Everton, Southampton, Ajax, PSV, Valencia, whatever, right? But the problem with that is he has to learn, and at some point, I feel it in my heart. Coleman's gonna come out. He's gonna take a step back. He's gonna say, "Okay, I messed up. Let me try something new. And I'm gonna play Ricky. And I'm gonna give Ricky his chance."
That's the thing. Let's move on here to Koeman, man. Because honestly, a year ago when we actually talked the first time and we did a video together, we were just like, man, if we win a trophy, that'll be
Yeah,
amazing. That'll be
yeah,
unbelievable. Like, I'm just hoping we stay alive and we could
yeah, yeah,
end up in a European spot. Like, that's all we were talking about. And
yeah,
we're like, look, all Barcelona fans, we all want to win everything. We always
yeah.
want to win everything. And we're never going to say, we're not just going to be like, oh, just stay in the league. That's not what we do. We just always want to win something. But we also got to be realistic. And that's something that you have said a lot. Be realistic. This year was a year we came down from the ditches. We got back up. We're cleaning ourselves up, ready to
Yeah.
fight again at the high level. And to me, anybody who's saying that Koeman should go needs to look back just 6-7 months ago and realize where we came from. Koeman has done a phenomenal job with an inexperienced team. Yes, we have Messi. Yes, we have Busquets. But the rest of the group are people who are learning to play the Barcelona style and the Barcelona way of football. Not only that, is a bunch of young players as well, alongside your Griezmanns and stuff who came from other, playing formations and playing tactics. So learning all these tactics is not easy. Barcelona is not an easy team to play for. It's never been an easy team to play for. You have to have a certain type of quick thinking. The space and time. Xavi Hernandez always talked about that. You got to understand space and time so well and touch it really good. And I think Koeman has done a phenomenal job this year. Yes, we probably will not win La Liga, but the fact that we're here fighting for it proves a point that, look, this man deserves at least another year or two.
Yeah.
To say that he needs to be fired because he doesn't play Ricky is nonsense. Absolute nonsense. I'm a Ricky fan, but that is nonsense. Ricky has to do his part to be able to show that he needs to be in there. And Koeman has to give the chances, which he has been giving chances to all these youngsters. Maybe not because he wants to, because he had to. And I think it has changed his mind into like, look, I need to trust in these guys that I have. And sometimes he overtrusts too. Some of
Yeah.
them, we could talk a little bit about Moriba in that case,
Yeah.
but I think still Moriba is a great talent that we still need to develop. Me
And
personally,
go ahead. Yeah.
Koeman needs to stay for at least another year or two. Give him the opportunity because he has done a phenomenal job to bring us back. We could have been worse. We could have been not in the Champions League positions. We could have been completely out of even the Europa League positions. And we could have lost the Copa del Rey months ago. Okay. And we could have easily been getting out of the Champions League group stage earlier than we got off. And we lost against a really good team. It's not like we lost against some garbage team. We lost against a really good team. I personally think Koeman needs another opportunity, needs another, at least in 1 year, at least a year or two, to show and prove his tactics. If he sucks next year again, if we don't win the La Liga next year, I could see how we could get rid of them. And then we talk the rumors about other coaches coming in. But to bring in another coach right now, that's just nonsense. Absolute garbage and stupidity. What do
And
you
I'll
think?
tell you, what. It's that you said this earlier as well. It's like last year we were a team that was struggling. We had no direction. This season we struggled, but it's a learning process. And people will say, "Oh, how long is the learning process?" It doesn't matter how long the learning process is, as long as it works in the end. you got to be patient. And I said this too in my blog, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're being average. You're not being a Barcelona fan. You're being a mid-table fan. If Marcelo Bielsa came to Barcelona, we could win La Liga easily." I said, you know what? If you want to think that, go ahead. But for the fact that that you're a Barcelona fan and you actually thought that you were going to win a major trophy this season is the saddest thing in the world, because it just shows that you don't understand the club. You don't understand the situation of the club. You just think, oh, Messi's in the team, Busquets in the team, Griezmann's in the team, we're going to win. No, it's not how it works. You got to be realistic. And the thing is like the fact that we got to the Copa del Rey, the way we got to the Copa del Rey final, and we won the Copa del Rey final, and the way we played in the Copa del Rey final, and Messi's reaction in the final, that, I swear to God, I don't know about you, but when I watched the Copa del Rey final, I was crying. The fact that I saw Messi that happy again at Barcelona carrying a trophy, there was tears strolling down my eyes, because I know that Messi's happy now. And however many losses we can take, we can take. We're stronger mentally than we were last season again with Setien. We're stronger than we were mentally with Valverde, that's for sure. But the problem is, people have to be patient. You can't just keep putting pressure on pressure after pressure and pressure on the team and the coach and the players, because it doesn't end well for the team. And on top of that, it's like you said, we were 12th place back in August, October, something like that. We were 12th place. We were in contention.
I think November.
We weren't in contention to play for Europa League. We weren't in contention to play for Champions League. We weren't in contention for anything, right? We're going to be a mid-table club. And Koeman said, okay, time to, strengthen up. Didn't get any transfer signings in January. Didn't get anyone, right? Yeah. The presidential election was delayed by 6 months. It was supposed to be in December. Turns out it's in March. Okay, that's new, And on top of that, his decision to just come in, he paid his own release cost to leave the Netherlands national team. He told Busquets, listen, when you get the money, you can pay me. You don't have to pay me right now. It's not a priority. My salary is not a priority. I got the money. What matters right now is the club. And when you get a manager like that, when you get a player like that, when you get anybody like that who's that loyal to the club, success is always around the corner. And for me, the fact that we won the Copa del Rey shows what we can be, right? Yeah. And come next season, he'll get his players that he needs. He'll promote the other players that he needs. Laporta knows what he's doing. He has the experience. He knows how to deal with Dutch managers. He's done it before with Rijkaard. If he next season, like we said, if he performs, he stays. If not, his contract is 2 years anyway. Next season's his last season. Why waste enough money? The stuff we don't have right now, money. Why waste that amount of money to sack a manager who came in for his own passion for the club, his own love for the club, and his own ideologies? What's wrong with a coach coming in and implementing his own ideologies? I don't understand, right? But for the fact that we're losing against mid-table teams and we're losing against the big four in La Liga, that doesn't make sense to me. Every team is going to struggle in transition. When Pep Guardiola started at City, they didn't win shit, right? When Pep Guardiola came in, they had nobody, right? And they didn't do anything in the first season. Of course, he got the money and whatever from, whatever happens, that's behind the scenes. But besides the point, he brought 11 individually talented players together to form a team. Yeah. That's what Koeman is doing, and nobody realizes it, because we all saw Messi's position change. His roles changed in the team. It's not the same as it was 2 or 3 years ago under Valverde. Busquets' position is different. He's flown absolutely since 2021 started. He was in contention to be sold last season, and now he's undisputed starter, right? Yeah. De Jong has been brilliant. Pedri's been absolutely brilliant. All praise to him as an 18-year-old, coming in and doing what he's done and breaking the 50 appearances record mark for Barcelona, breaking Messi and Bojan Kirk's records. That's, all praise to him. And on top of that, you've had the defenders like Araujo and Guess. This was the first season we've played two La Masia center backs in the same lineup against Real Sociedad out of all teams. Yeah. We played Araujo, Mingueza, and Dest all in the back. That's one of the youngest defensive lineups I've seen, right? And on top of that, you have players like Ricky Puig, Ilyas Moriba. You have, whoever comes in, whatever goes on.
I mean,
Fatih Dest, you can go on. You can go on. Alejandro Balde, Miranda, whatever. You can go on and on. Alex Collado, he's a brilliant talent in La Masia as well. Yeah. You can go on and on and on. At the end of the day, these guys are going to be the ones that make Barcelona. Not whoever comes in, not whoever is getting bought, because those players the money is being spent on them. There's more pressure on them than there is on La Masia. Therefore, if we have a team that does not carry that much pressure, if we have a team that doesn't break under pressure because of how much money they're worth or what's happening or if they're getting embarrassed. Because Barcelona B, let's be honest, they've been embarrassed this season sometimes.
Yeah.
They might have not had that many losses in the season, but they've had losses where you think, oh, they should have won that game. And you watch the game, you're like, oh, Garcia Pimienta should have won that game. And another thing is with Garcia Pimienta is he's a brilliant manager. And for me, I'd love to see him coach the first team one day. But besides the point, it might never happen. It might happen. Who knows? That's up to Laporta to decide. And on top of that, it's like when you see the games that Barcelona B has lost this season, it shows that those players don't mind losing a simple game. When the first team loses a game like Levante, you're going to see the next couple of weeks, we're going to be struggling mentally.
Yeah.
Like the mentality of this team is going to go down. But Barcelona B, when they lose against a lower team, against a smaller team, against whatever they lose against, they come back. They come back, they play the next game like nothing happened. And they win the next game 4-0, 6-1, 5-3, whatever, whoever they're playing against. And that's the mentality we need, and that's the type of players we need because there's less pressure on those players. And that's what we've seen at the World Cup in 2018. Messi had more pressure on his shoulders than any other player in the world. Yeah. He flopped miserably because nobody in Argentina was doing anything, right? In 20, what was it, 20, this past Bayern season, 2019-20 season, Busquets was absolutely dreadful, right? Yeah. He was the worst version of Busquets we've ever seen. And then you have players like Arturo Vidal came in for 45 million. You have players like who was the other midfield that was
Paulinho.
Paulinho, right? Paulinho was okay, but at the end of the day, he's not going to be the person to suffice you for a whole season, Yeah. And that's where the problem comes in, where Ronald Koeman, everybody's like, oh, we want his head, we want it. But you're not going to find a manager like Ronald Koeman who has that much passion for Barcelona, who has that much, drive and just wants to do what's good for Barcelona. You're not going to find.
He's done it, though. That's the thing. He's done it. And and that's the thing I don't get it is, look, the thing is, everybody doesn't expect a transition from Barcelona because Barcelona is always expected to be this great, massive team constantly every year. And, we've been spoiled for the past 15 years, roughly.
Yeah,
and everything comes to a point where something has to transition, and we are in that transition mode. Koeman has done a phenomenal job, and I will give him a hard time on the nonsense substitution that he sometimes does because it drives me absolutely crazy, some of the substitutions. But he's a man, he's a manager, he has to learn. He also has to learn. He also has to identify mistakes that he makes. He also has to do these things. And for anyone to sit there and just say, hey, this guy's got to go because he sucks, he's terrible, he don't know what we're doing because we lost one game that might have lost us the La Liga championship, when in reality, we didn't even know if we were going to be contending for La Liga to begin with. Get the heck out of it. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Absolute nonsense. I agree with you, man. I think Koeman deserves another year of his contract to be done. Let's get some of these transfers like the pay he wants it and Agüero in. Let's get Eric Garcia in here. Let's promote correctly and sell correctly so we could strengthen the club financially all over again and get us out of this crazy debt that the amazing ex-president put us on. Amazing is very sarcastically said, fans, in case you don't realize that. We need to build back up, and it's not just a team that we're building up. We're building an entire business back up. And that is what we need to do as Barcelona fans, is understand where we are. So Ronald Koeman should stay for at least a year, maybe 2 years. Give him the opportunity, just like Pep got the opportunity, just like any manager who comes in gets the opportunity of 2 years, with the exception of Quique Setién, which absolutely got it. Just horrible, horrible situation. But other than that, Andrew, I think we touched these points very clearly. Hopefully the fans enjoys what we said. Guys, again, this is Andrew Yacoub from Toronto, Canada, doing his best part. We're fans of Barcelona from everywhere. Everywhere we go, and we love it. We're just asking you, be realistic. Be realistic and stop being so. Sometimes we could be the worst type of fans ever and put more pressure on these players than anyone else humanly possible, because Barcelona fans, we're rough, man. We could be rough, but you have to understand the situation, and that is the biggest thing. Any last thing you want to tell the fans here, Andrew?
Just stay calm, stay patient. Everything is going to be fine. Everybody keeps panicking and panicking, but the more you panic, the worse it's gonna be. So for me, it's like you just gotta go with the flow. Trust Laporte on what he's doing. Trust Coleman on what he's doing. If he messes up and you don't agree with it, that's fine. That's your opinion. But you're not gonna put more pressure on the team because right now we're trying to get away from that, and we all see it. We all know it. You guys all know it. Just so stop putting more pressure on the team. Stop putting more pressure on the coach. I understand your frustration with him.
We
I
have
have
it.
too. Yeah, we
Me and you
have it.
have it.
So it's natural. So just stay calm. Collective. The calmer, the better. That's how I think about it. Because the more you have a hot head and you're always mad about things, and the less it's gonna work out. And this is a great reason why Coleman doesn't yell at players during the game is because they get worse and worse and worse. So that's
Just
pretty
keep
much
at it,
it.
right? Forca
Yeah.
Barca, you know how it is, man. All right, fans, y'all know how it goes. Forca Barca, Visca Barca, Barcelona fans for life. Stay cool. Cool as unite. You guys know how it is, man. No matter what happens, we're always going to come up winning at some point. We have to believe in what we're doing. And I think we all should just keep it together. If we win the La Liga, if we don't win La Liga, we're going to do better next year for sure. It's almost certain, to be honest, when you see what we had to work with this year. Next year will be so much better. So fans, y'all know how it goes, man. I choose to believe. I hope all of you do too. I know Andrew chooses to believe for sure, because that's the way we roll. So here we go. Both of us, Andrew, Yacoub, and Coach Jrod. We out, baby. Boom.